The historic district is the backbone of Fredericksburg's tourist industry, the main industry of the city. No changes affecting the historic district should be made without full discussion of the economic impact such changes would have in this area. I urge Council to, at a minimum, delay these amendments to give time to review the full impact they will have.
Unfortunately, I live in a area that's zoned CD. And when my neighbor next door sells her house, because she's going to, according to Mr. Johnson, I'll have 12 units possibly built next door to me on that property. We're all here because we're concerned about density and the steady drip of the increased density that seems to be happening in our city. We all feel it. The small town character that we all came here for seems to be melting away. Trees. You're all going to hear about trees from me as usual. But as we add more development, we add hardscape and we lose canopy. Since 2010, we have lost 4% of our canopy, and that last canopy analysis was done in 2018, and we all know that more canopy was lost when the new school was built and all those trees were taken down, so we're going to see less. Arlington, Virginia went from 41% canopy in 2017 to 33% in 2021. Alexandria, which is pretty much fully developed, is now at 32% canopy, which is lower than Baltimore, which is considered very horrific in canopy standards. It degrades the quality of life for our current residents. We have increased heat island effect. 2 years ago, we did a heat island study with Friends of the Rappahannock. There was a 15-degree differential here in our region. That means if it was 82 degrees down in Caroline County, it was 15 degrees hotter here, 97. What does that mean? Well, increase in poor air quality, increase in asthma for children, increase in cooling homes for those who are poor or on the cusp of being poor, increase in stormwater that degrades our rivers. You know, we can't plant our way out of this. I've tried, put 10,000 trees in the last 10 years, but we're going backwards, and we continue to impact our city with ordinances like these. I ask you to pause and really think about where we're going, create a plan, and actually talk to the public and have public hearings about what kind of density are we aiming for. Because we hear a lot of rumors. We hear a lot of statements from people that say, I want a lot of density from our leadership. And we're here because we're concerned, and we ask you to understand that we need leadership that takes our concerns into consideration.
I'm speaking tonight about concern with the density ordinance, and it is so confusing. This is not a strategy to affordable housing. It is convoluted smoke and mirrors which uses manipulative virtue signaling by certain councilors and planning commissioners. This use is perceived by residents as designing and will only continue to divide the city because it doesn't value facts and research. You all know that the city cannot dictate what landlords, developers charge. The extra units of smaller apartments and townhouses proposed will go for market rate. The developers will just pack in one or more units on a single lot in PD and commercial downtown and creative maker districts. Don't knock off our historic district with this haphazard spot zoning. It's stealth zoning. If you're really serious about providing affordable housing for young people, get away from this rezoning in which the developers are going to be raking in their bucks at city expense and force those on low and or fixed incomes to leave their homes.
Why exactly are you constantly trying to do this? I always thought it would be so enticing to live in Georgetown. The university, the hospital, the charm, the quaintness, the multicultures from around the world, the riverfront, the shops, and of course the restaurants from any ethnic culture that you can think of. But there is the reality. A 2-bedroom home costs $3 million, not to mention the 5-bedroom on our street that's currently listed for $15 million. I could not afford to live in Georgetown, but I would not expect the DC City Council to solve my problem. But it appears to me that there is some aspect of the City of Fredericksburg governance that has the idea that the city must fulfill everyone's housing desires. Why is that? I believe that you feel that if more houses, townhomes, apartments are built, then the price of housing will come down. In the past few years, every square inch of Fredericksburg has been built upon. We can go as far back as the Crestview Apartments and the ones across the street from it. All the housing options at Central Park, the homes on Lafayette Boulevard, and all of the other ones that Mr. Kelly mentioned. Every tiny plot of ground in the downtown area. You have already approved a huge number of housing units over the past few years. The question now is, has the price of housing in Fredericksburg come down? You've had many years of building to see if your experiment in increasing the housing supply has lowered the median cost of housing in Fredericksburg. Well, has it?